Look at me, I'm all sexy. My hair could definitely be better. Like, y'all see that? I cleaned my scalp. I know this is a plant content thing, but I cleaned my scalp. Hey, everybody who is joining in now or the future. If you're watching me now, I want you to tell me what state or country you're watching from. If you're not in these United States. If you are watching me in the future, I want you to like and share this, okay? Because if there's a hype, I don't think I got the hype. I don't think I don't think I You know, it's funny to me that the people online tempt me so because they don't understand that this chocolate skin means I'm absolutely delicious, right? When it comes to the people talking about me, all they can talk about is weight. But I can't often wait to talk about them. Y'all see how I put those words together? The people, make sure y'all are sharing this with people so we can get people on. I'm going to be doing some plant chores today. The people talk about how heavy I am, but they don't know how heavy my troll game is on the people. And I tries to be good, but it's been a trying week. And those people that I found, and I found those comments looking for something else, those people got it. They got it coming. They had it coming. So, we got somebody from Florida. Tell me where y'all are watching from. I don't want to begin. I had this plant that died. This plant was a cactus. Some type of orchid cactus, which I believe are, because I think this is the same type, Pseudoryphisalis amazonica. This is this specific genus and species, but it should be in the same genus, which is Pseudoryphisalis. Yeah, I'll try to say that 12 times fast. And this beautiful baby I had in this aquarium I'm going to show y'all. And y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? It's gone. It's gone. Now what happened? Okay, hey Starbucks, hey Pierre. Again, those of you joining, tell me where you're watching from. Like, share, subscribe, all of that stuff, right? Make sure that people are doing it. So, in this little space here, right, this is my aquarium greenhouse, one of them, and these plants are in here dense. Now, most people wouldn't do them this dense. I'm not most people. And I had it on top of other plants, and some other plants were suffering too. It looks like this one has some death here on it. So we got South Australia. You're watching from Minnesota. Okay. But these plants have been looking a little worse for wear. Now, why are they looking worse for wear? This year, I told y'all this year has been a little worse for me. It's been a little tiresome for me. So I'm going to do some plant chores I've been negating. This needs some help. This all needs some water. And I've watered a little bit, but I've not given them as much water as they should get. And this is why you're seeing like some disease. In addition to my watering, I've tried to use nitrogen more, like some guano more. And guano or nitrogen is supposed to help roots and shoots grow, but I've not been getting my mix right, and I think that's why I'm also seeing some chlorosis or some yellowing on my leaves, which is upsetting. But most of these plants are good. There's some plants that are growing into each other, and that's okay. And there's some plants who I know are looking like, Father, why have you forsaken us? They talk like that. Hey, Rachel. Father, why have you forsaken us? So I'm going to just jump in, okay? Ask your questions while you are here, and we're going to go from there. So hopefully nothing jumps out at me. My worst fear is I'm digging in here and like cockroaches hop out because they love this type of area because they would think it's for them. Because if that happens, I'm knocking everything over and I'm running. Running where, you might ask? I'm gone. I'm out of here, gone. Now, I want y'all to see this. This is how happy these plants are. Y'all see those thick roots hanging in front of your face? You ever see something dangling in front of your face like this? This is the aerial roots of this epipremnum or this pothos. And these are so happy. It's so humid in there that they literally can grow these thick roots. I can coil this back on itself or start a new one off of this. And I may start some new ones. I think this is a golden pothos. The typical one everybody's grandmama and them grew. This just fell over. This fell over. But you can see it's still growing. And this is a a whale tail Sansevieria. There we go. Look at how beautiful that is. Now, I got this a couple of years ago from a woman in Wilson. I had a couple more from her, but the other ones, they went out yonder. And let me show y'all this. Y'all see this? This is so exciting. It's growing out of its container. Like, they're literally trying to escape. Amazing, right? So, I'm going to just do a quick once-over. And this quick once-over is me looking at things to see how they look, right? I want to make sure they're good. This is my Pink Princess. I think this is the first one I got. Oh, actually, this is my Pink Princess Marble King. Hey, handsome, complicated. I think that's your name. Tell me where you're watching from. What state? Or what country if you're not in the United States. And I showed you my cactus that died. So this is the one that died. And I didn't put it back where I should have. So it was just like sitting over top so it wasn't watered. But this is the one I actually set back in the right place. So y'all see the difference. Atlanta? You go to the Southeast Plant Show? It be in Atlanta. Y'all see this one though? This cactus survived. This one died. It's wild. So I'm trying to clear this out because I want to be able to see what's going on in here. I did some propagations off of these a couple of months ago. Hey, Samuel. Marble Botanics, everybody joining. Tell me what state you're watching from. If you're in these United States. We just had a freeze and I left some things out. You're so mad. Let me turn this back to me. Here's what I want y'all to know. Because you just had a freeze. I want you all to do me a solid. Okay, you just moved here. Can't wait to go to that show. I should be there next year. So if all things are equal, I'll be there. You get to see me. I don't know what I'm talking about yet, but I'm going to apply. And I'm going to go. The weather, the freezing, right? So outdoors in this day and age, right now here in the winter, is as cold as all get out. So obviously, though most of you would have moved your plants back in from the outdoors, right? But if you forget, sometimes you can still save it. Sometimes that root, right? So this is dead on the top, but the root structure may still be yet living and white, which we can see here. There's white roots here, meaning I may have a chance to save the roots that are white and living and get some new growth up here. Now that takes time because your roots are your foundational thing that are building energy for the greenness to feed back in as a feedback loop. Roots take in water. They need oxygen to be able to do their nutrient exchange, right? You know what I mean? And then you can get that green growth that gets the energy that can help develop more roots, right? So if you baby that plant, you put it in a humid environment, you water it, right? You don't want to drown it in water, but when that dries out, you may be able to get some more plants, right? With this, I'm going to take this necrotic tissue, necrotic meaning dead, and I'm going to pick this off. And for those of you saying you just had a 38-degree day, we just had a 16-degree day here in North Carolina. And Atlanta is the same zone, so I'm envisioning you had something similar. So I'm just going to pick this off what I can. I don't want to desecrate this root structure, though. So I'm going to water this with a little fertilizer, but I'm going to water my fertilizer down, okay? Somebody just said 38 degrees is nothing, okay? That's good for you. It's something to me. So those of you who are like, oh, my houseplants, if you leave them outside, check the roots because you may be able to get it to grow back. There's some plants that had all the top die, but the roots were still living. Now, if the roots are gone and the top is gone, then the whole plant is gone. I hope that makes sense. Boop. So we're going to go back to what we was doing here. So I am just kind of looking and I'm doing a little clean out. Now, I don't preen and prune my plants as heavily as some other people do. Why don't I? Because I just don't care. I just don't care to. So I'm just going to kind of rearrange these. I usually have a pair of scissors with me. Hey, Pure Lux. Pure Lux, aren't y'all here in the triangle? Didn't I go to y'all once? Did I make that up? Hey, T23. Let me get a pair of scissors. I usually have one right beside me. but I don't know what I did with them. I cleaned up my apartment, and now I don't know where nothing is. It's insane how that works. I hear the secrets that you keep. They're talking in your sleep. I hear the secrets that you keep. Talk. Okay, I'm back. So, we're going to do some plant cleanup. Hello, I don't think so. We're in Iowa. Iowa? Well, I am so glad you joined me, Was. I'm going to do some quick trimming. I'm using Retain, beautiful product. You would love for us to visit? Look, I take plane trips. I love to be flued out. Hey, Chloe Creates here. So I did a quick little mist, and I'm going to, again, just cut off all this dead material. You know, the year is coming to an end, and this is almost time for us to cut off all the dead material, things that aren't serving us anymore, right? This here, this dead material I'm removing literally means nothing at this point. Like, it's not helping the plant. It's not giving it anything. And to be honest, this one, which I think is my Stingray Alocasia, is a loosey-goosey. You see that? You see how loosey-goosey it is? We don't like it to dangle like that. So I'm going to add some more soil to this. Luckily enough, I had some plants that died. I'm just going to kind of add their soil to it. I sometimes use this as a filter when I'm watering. I want to put this down real quick. I'm just going to get all these dead leaves, all this crunchy. I'm going to use that to the side later. That's going to be a secret for later. And I do believe, I knew I did. I had some extra soil over here to the side from another plant that died. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. You are more than welcome. Thank y'all for joining. And again, remember, y'all can join, like, and share, throw some hearts. You can probably buy a button if you want. If any of you want to join me live and talk to me, you're more than welcome. Just know this live will go up on YouTube and Facebook. So if you don't want to be all out everywhere, then you probably don't need to do it. Hey, Sister Studio. So I'm just going to add some more soil on top of this because I want to be able to really get this reestablished. And this is what's happening in the new year. We are reestablishing ourselves in this new year. We are getting rid of things that don't serve us. Okay? And sidebar, if y'all want to ask me questions, like plant questions, just try to use the question box at the bottom so the people later can read your questions. So we got this plant here. And this is all types of tangled up, God. I let them grow wild sometimes because I just like to get that Jumanji vibe. But then, when I'm later trying to like get it free, then I'm upset. And this is a very long one. This is that long one I showed you I was climbing out earlier. I'm going to kind of wrap this back in so I can get some leaves. Because this is a Cebu Pothos, I believe. I can't remember who I got it from. Okay, and we're just going to take some of this dead out because we don't want this death to be here anymore. What do I add to my soil to keep water from running right through? So here's what you do. If you have soil that water is running right through, right, what's happening is your soil is compacted. So this isn't compacted, but what compacted means is it's kind of drawn up, and I'm so Southern, I can't help myself. So it's shrunk, and it's kind of pulled itself together. And this sometimes happens with some soil mixes that you don't water thoroughly, especially the cheaper stuff. I hate to say it, the cheaper stuff doesn't have that hydrating agent where it just sucks up more water, right? And it'll just stay tight like this, right? And when you water, you literally have to put like a saucer on the bottom to keep that water up. If you don't want that to happen, here's what you do. You get you some compost. You mix it into your potting soil. So you would have to like de-root, de-pot the plant, unplot the plant, mix the compost in. Or playground sand is another thing. You get a bag. It used to be $5, but Tarif is here now. Y'all's president got Tarif here, and he making everything expensive. So those should help you when you're like, my plants, the water's running through. Now, people will say dish soap, and you could do that, and that makes the water, its tension takes it down. But I don't like adding dish soap to my plants if I don't have to. I like to be as proactive yet lazy as possible. Like a proactive procrastinator. That's where I am. Hope that helps. So we're gonna keep going with this. This is a plant, this one right here, that I have been struggling with because right when I get it back living, I end up going through a depressive state, and then I just stop. So I need to get this off. Oh, it came right off. And generally, I just wait until I can pull these things off. Like once I can actually pull them off, they're dead. They've given all their energy back to the plant. You know, all their energy is up. And now I can focus on just getting it together. And all of this dead material, you can compost or just throw outside. Hey, Naja native. Naja, you from the lag? Where you from, Naja native? Okay, this one again, I'm just gonna water everything today and just use straight up water, because if I rinse everything out, if there is a nutrient deficiency, it'll be gone. And if there's not, I'd rather be safe than sorry. And then I can use a balanced fertilizer later to add this up. Now, all of this like yellowing tissue is never going to not be yellow, but the new tissue growing at the top edge will be green, and that'll be what it is. And actually, if I look at the growing points of this, because it's growing like here out, it looks like I did have an issue, and I think I had a nutrient issue around a month ago because I ended up killing a couple of plants. And I didn't mean to. Thank you. I'm new to indoor plants. I live in New York and have pivoted to house plants, and I've had issues with my veggie and herbs outdoors, which indeed get composted. Look, your outdoor veggies and stuff, you will never have an issue with soil drying up, because you're composting them. And especially if you're doing it in ground, like you're not going to do like pure peat in most cases. You'll do a garden mix, and most garden mixes now have those like hydrating things where they basically absorb water to release it later, right? They stay wetter, right? They basically have done it, like, I hate to say this, for dummies, the plant world, right? The soil world. So you typically don't have that issue here. But in indoor plants, especially, depending on what your soil mix is and where you got the plant from and what they're using, it can definitely be a problem. Like I've had some plants where that thing was so dry. It was dry. It was dry. Now this has been laying down for some time. Now it looks like this end I plant in containers. I love it. It looks like this end may have just been sitting in the water, which is why we're seeing this necrosis, this black tissue. Right? Plant's not happy. So we're just gonna take it off. Now, I'm hoping from these nodes, right, each segment, there can be a new leaf to come up, which will make this plant fuller. And this is a Monastera Stelliana alba. And then this is Seblu. This is a green thing. Science with Mershon. Hey. So this plant, I think I'm going to cut this one out because I want to propagate this one separately. And this is a golden pothos that I've had in. I'm not going to cut it all the way out. I'm just going to do this. And that way I have this beautiful baby that I could propagate at least twice, because there's a couple of good nodes here that I could do something with. And this is looking beautiful. Golden pothos, one of the easier ones to take care of, simpler, I should say, depending on if you love to water plants. And I know I do, that's why I keep them. I'm gonna set this to the side. And this actually grew in this other pot. So before this becomes too weedy, I'm gonna cut this one back too. And I'll cut this one back right here. Again, you see that big aerial root right there? You see that big aerial root? I'm gonna cut right behind it. And now I have another plant And it has all these aerial roots climbing up it because I keep it literally so humid in the house and in so warm in here that it thinks it can climb up something. Oh, that is gorgeous. Look at that. It think it could climb up, and we don't want it to climb up these people's walls because I don't own these walls. Okay? I don't want to climb up walls. You got to take care of walls. Take care of the walls. You can't be beating walls up. Y'all be trying to beat walls up, and you got to take care of them. Hey, walls, start staring. I'm going to kind of fold that one back in. And there's one that disappeared. Here we go. There's one. Oh, God, I lost the other one. Where did it go? Two. There we go. I'm going to put these off to the side. They ended up falling back in and getting reconfused. I actually may put these in a pot beside it. I may try to just straight up pot these out. I have a pot my brother painted for me some time ago. I'm going to try to put a plant in it. Okay, so it looks like we're almost done, but we're not because we have this, which is my Pink Princess Marble Galaxy. And it's growing, but it's not giving me as big as it should be. And it's kind of a little loosey-goosey too. But it doesn't look like it is loose, but I'm gonna do a quick repot of it and see if I can just get it deeper in here. Okay, see if I can get it just a little deeper. There we go. This just came right at me. There we go. Boop. One day I have a camera person. So I'm gonna just kind of twist this around. I have big hands, so I can carry, boop, and then loosen this up. Loosen. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna take these dead leaves off the bottom. I might as well. Hey, moologist. I'm gonna take all these dead leaves off the bottom. They're not serving me anymore. And this is a beautiful plant. Just, I want it to grow bigger. So I'm gonna put it in like so. I have some slow release fertilizer, just a little bit I'm gonna mix in. And I know what y'all are about to say. Well, Derek, our favorite person says you shouldn't fertilize. And I agree with them. I agree with them completely. You shouldn't. But I do what I want. I'm just gonna add a little boop, a little pinch there. A little boop, a little pinch there. Not a lot, and this is a fertilizer generally for the outdoor planty babies. That's what I'm adding, just a little bit. I'm gonna mix that in. Now, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna use our hands. Hey, everybody joining, tell me where you're watching from. We're gonna use our hands. I don't want this to be super deep in here, but I don't want it to be like standing up and leaning. I want it to kind of be good. So I'm gonna use one hand to hold it where I want, and I'm gonna put this soil in and shake. Okay, and that way, once I get all this soil in, shake, it'll be at the level I want it to be. This also helps me get the soil off the bottom of the pot of this greenhouse I have here. Okay, and then once I get to a certain level, I kind of go around my thumbs, and I just kind of tamp that soil in with my thumbs. Okay, you see how we're wobbling, still kind of, but not as much, I guess. It's not gonna be perfect. I'm gonna take some of these dead leaves out. And then I'm gonna do this. I wanna make sure I didn't cover any leaves. Watching from Delaware, we love it. And then tamp. And now that I've tamped it in, and I tamp it in place, you see how it's not shaking anymore? Ain't that magical? And I ended up finding a stick. So I can kind of try to straighten this out a little bit. And I'm gonna clean some of the soil off from here. It looks like something fell to the side. There we go. I don't want all this soil to just stay in the bottom. And some of these that like have thick canopies, I kind of mix them in. Try to at least. So that way watching from Pacifica, San Francisco. I'm gonna put everybody back. This one is doing beautiful. I do want to separate this, to be honest. I really do, but it's so full right now. I don't really want to take it away. Like, I love this fullness. And back in the day, I used to have a night blooming cereus. I feel like the night blooming cereus and this pseudo Rhea salis, I feel like they're in the same genus. Like, I feel like because they look pretty much alike. Former friend gave it me. Somebody asked me what type of grow lights am I using. It's in the link in my bio. I cannot remember the name of them right offhand, but they give me so much. They're LEDs, and they're actually hot right now to be LEDs, but they are this. And the link is in my bio if you want to do these grow lights. If you want to do any type of plant stuff, I have links in my bio. So that way you can get them. And this is actually running 24 hours a day. If any of you want to give me money for my light bill, please let me know. I take Cash App, I take Zelle, I take Venmo, I take $20 in my hand. You do like the old church mothers do. I'm gonna clean this off camera because it got leaves from everything else we were just doing. And this is again one I just showed y'all the earlier. Look at this, beautiful roots. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to propagate this one. I think I'm going to do 3 cuts today. I just knocked these scissors somewhere. Here we go. And I'm going to cut right where I can. I just bought a pink princess 2 weeks ago, sitting on my shelf waiting to be potted up. So I pop my plants up once they are gigantinormous. And I'm like, you can't take it anymore unless I'm immediately giving it away. I don't repot. I used to repot immediately just to kind of, have them match an aesthetic and then keep the pots and everything. But now all these pots are just mismatch until I decide to give them away. So I'm going to cut right here. Okay. And I have another one that I've already made a cut from, but we're just going to do this, put this back in here. I have celery in here I plan on growing in the corner. Sister Studio laughing at me. I've said so many things and I'm on delay. I don't even know what I said that was funny. And again, it's all started with this one. I decided to take a look, and this is as dead as I don't know what. Now, right here, that almost looks white, that tissue there. Does that look white to y'all? Let me move my head out of the way so I can have my flashlight here. Does that look white to y'all? Look green? So again, the roots of this are yet alive. Like, we got white roots. So we might be able to save this. It's just super dry. Okay, and we're gonna save this with a little water. So I said I was gonna use regular water on this, and I guess I should keep true to what I said, huh? So it's just gonna be a heavy soak for everybody. And that heavy soak, I usually try to have them water together, but that heavy soak is just gonna flush out whatever's in them. Speaking of pots, what is all the clear pots that I've been seeing? Let me explain to you what it is. It's part trend, and it's part like growers generally use them for different species. It just depends on what you're doing. So, oh, I forgot about this one. I had another cactus. This one, it has some like weed growing in it, and it's not as excited. This is Ramoscula red mistletoe. So I'm gonna put this one down here. Do I have any clear pots in here? Let me see if I got any clear pots. I feel like I got rid of most of my clear pots. So a clear pot, and I actually had some. Like I had some from work. At my money comments, thank you. Thank you for laughing at my money comments. When it comes to a clear pot is really, he says watering a plant that's in one. A clear pot is really so you can see the roots. And seeing root development can generally help you to know like what's your plant needing. Like, is it actually growing? And you don't have to disturb it as much. But to be honest, it's become more of a trend, more of a hip thing to do. And you don't really need to do so in most cases. In most cases, you're hurting yourself. In some cases, you're hurting yourself because, like, this light here, there's a light behind me. This is going to be a great example of what happens. Roots grow in the dark. So they grow to the dark and they grow towards the light. But if there's light all around me, I'm just going to grow towards, I'm going to say I've made it, and I'm not going to like give all the development I could give, right? So in some wet places, these clear pots can be wild. And the clear pots are not necessarily glass. They are clear plastic pots. You could use clear cups, right? There's all sorts of things you can do for a clear pot. There we go. I'm trying to fix this so this can stop falling down. There we go. So a clear pot doesn't have to be like glass. It can be plastic. But we don't want, there we go. We don't want like all that light to impact our roots negatively. And I had some that were like the clear pots I know you're talking about. But I think I gave those away. I gave away like 300 or so pots to an organization here. And then I gave all my books away that were plant books. Like 90% of my book collection. And I still got some more that I need to look through and basically purge off. So yeah, that was it. And then setting this back up is pretty simple. I'm going to set it back up. So I use a hat rack, an old hat rack or scarf rack, because it is easy. And even though it's made of wood, like, it's just easy to set everything down over. I put one light right here. I put another light right here, so that's kind of full coverage. And now we're done. There we go, and now we're done. And backing out of my stuff somehow. So this ends up looking like this. And I should really clean all of this off here. So that way y'all aren't just like seeing all the things that I used to line this table. So it ends up looking like this. And then the heating mat under it steams the water, raises the heat of the water, and then all the plants are happy. And I have a couple of plants I'm going to be adding to the fray. This is also why I wanted to clean it out, because I'm like, what is in here still alive and what can I move? So I need to look into the care of these plants. So my friends at Gunter sent me a Hoya Sunrise that I got a video to post about. And then they also sent me a Dieffenbachia, an Aglominia honey. I don't know how to take care of these. I've never, he says dropping it. I don't know how to take care of these. But I also had went to the Lowe's and I got an anthurium. And this was on discount. And it says like bright light, water weekly. So I'm going to put it with the other plants in its family. These are aeroids, just like the Synganium and the Epiprenum and the Monstera in there. So I'm going to put that in there. And then I have this Callan Chloe donkey ears, I think this is, Dragonfire. And I'm going to repot this. And then I've always wanted one of these, and I've seen it for cheap. This is a stone-faced Lithops, where you see the people, back during the pandemic especially, you'd see people like rip these open, and they would like rip it open and be like, it's a new plant, you've made more plants by ripping it open, and you shouldn't. But these are dope, and I wanted one of these. So, yeah. But that's really everything I had. I've been out here for maybe, 30 minutes. That's a good time. 35 minutes. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. It's been a pleasure being here with you on this fine Friday. I remember I used to do effort Fridays for like 3 weeks. I might come back to that and start like coming up here and talking about plants and answering questions. But that is all, my friends. Y'all have a phenomenal rest of your day and keep on growing. Bye-bye.